Hey y'all, and welcome to the Farm and Pastor's Wife. I was not going to video today, but y'all, yesterday and then this morning we went out to the garden and I've got zucchini and I don't have enough time to cook the zucchini as fast as it's coming in. So I'm bringing you with me today. We're going to freeze and put up some zucchini. So stay tuned. Okay guys, as you can see, I've got a sink full of zucchini and it grows in the garden. The garden is dirt, so they have dirt on them. And they have the ends of their bloom sometimes, and they get wet and slimy. Ugh. So, I've got squash and zucchini. I'm going to try to keep them separate and freeze them separately. But if I don't have enough squash, I'll just mix them together. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to wash these off really good. They're pretty clean. Mainly the blossom end where it gets slimy is on there. That's the main thing to come off. And then just to wash off any excess dirt. Our garden's coming in. It's fixing to get real. It's fixing to get real. So, I'm just going to keep washing this. I'll bring you back when I get them all washed and ready to go. Okay guys, so let's talk a little bit about the different things to do with squash. Today, I'm going to be freezing it. I have pickled it in the past. Sorry, that light's just going to have to glare. Maybe I can turn you this way a little bit. That's a little better. I've pickled it in the past, and we will probably be picking. If it's going to come in the way I think it's going to come in, we're going to be doing some pickling. You can also freeze it. I have seen it done by just slicing it up, putting it on a cookie sheet, freezing it until it gets good and solid, and then taking them off, putting them in a bag. The only problem with that is vegetables have an enzyme that causes them to break down. And if you don't do some kind of initial partial cooking to begin with, they won't last as long. So if you're going to use them pretty quick, I guess that's an easy way, and that's fine. But what I'm doing is I've washed them really well. I've cut off both ends, and I'm cutting them in about a 1/4 to a 1/2 inch thick rounds. And we're going to do what's called blanching. And blanching is just initially putting them in hot boiling water, and we boil them for about 3 minutes. I may go a little less, depends, I don't know, we'll see. But initially about 3 minutes. And then when we take them out, we have to get them into cold water to stop the cooking, because we don't want them to cook all the way, because we'll do that when we make casseroles or whatever we're going to do with our zucchini and squash. So, what I'm doing right now, and then, well, what I'm doing right now is just slicing them up. But once we get them blanched and cooled back down, we'll drain them, get all the water, as much of the water off as we can. And then we'll put them and cool them and freeze them in freezer bags. I'll probably do maybe 1.5 cups measurements in my freezer bags. I'm not sure yet. We'll have to wait and see. I'm getting my rounds a little thick by talking and not paying attention. Y'all, my garden is coming in so good. And it makes me so happy. I shared at the beginning of this season, well, probably more in the winter, about why having a garden this year was so important to me. And the Lord has just really honored that and blessed that. And The garden is coming in. I'm soon going to I got to go to the store and get all the supplies I'm going to need, because a garden can come in so fast and you've got to be prepared. Like, I need to go get my jars and go ahead and have jars sanitized. But the thing with that is, I live on a dirt road and my house gets so dusty. If I have them ready, they're going to get dusty and I'm going to have to get them ready. So, let me show you, as soon as I get a few more of these cut up, I'm going to show you my setup. I'm using, I guess it's a pasta pot. Reminds me very much of what my mama used to blanch in. And I found it at a thrift store. The pot is over here on the stove. Over here with a little lid. Where's my pot holder? It's just a real thin, there's nothing fancy about this pot at all. Just real thin. It's got some vent holes at the top. And then it has this strainer. So what I'll do is I'll put the squash in here and we'll set it down in the hot water. Put a timer on for 3 minutes. I'm going to turn it up. Go ahead and bring it to a boil because I'm getting plenty of zucchini cut up. Now, I don't know why we do so much zucchini. Oops, I forgot to turn y'all back around. I don't know why we do so much zucchini, because I don't usually make zucchini bread or anything like that, although I may have to this year. Now, that's another way you can store your zucchini, is you can shred it like you would to go in your zucchini bread. And I still would probably blanch it. And blanch it and get it ready to go. I've got cucumbers. Anyway, I don't do it. I lose my train of thought, y'all. Y'all should know that about me by now. But I don't do a lot with zucchini, but I have the most delicious squash casserole ever. And I think you can pretty much use zucchini in it. And it is the best. I'll have to share it with you. And I'll share it with you soon. You can add there's several ingredients in this casserole, but you can add one ingredient and make it an entree. You can put chicken in it, and it just, all of a sudden it leaves the side dish status and becomes a entree. And let me tell you another thing I do when I am canning and preparing food. And I know I probably shouldn't, because I have the old-timey porcelain enamel type. Well, it's cast iron. So I don't know if you consider it. I don't know. But I don't think you're supposed to Clorox things, but I do when I'm canning. I pour some Clorox in my sink, fill it up with hot water, and let it sit for a little bit. And then I scrub it down real good. Because I'm taking all this time to wash my vegetables. I don't want anything in my sink to... Because you do a lot in your kitchen sink. You know? Clean your meat, you wash your dirty dishes. So a lot goes on in your kitchen sink. So I'm going to have to go stock up on some Clorox. And I know it's probably terrible for my sink, but I guess I can have it reglazed if I need to. Good gracious, y'all. That's a lot of zucchini and I'm not even done. So I'm going to keep slicing. I'll bring you back in a little bit. Okay, guys, let me show you how much zucchini. Alright, this is the bowl. This is a big bowl. I'm not sure how many quarts or gallons or whatever. But it's just almost, I mean, not quite full, but it's getting there. So, now now the fun begins. So, that's my trash bowl, like where I put my ends. Alright, I'm going to put in this, I'm going to put it down the sink. I'm not going to put a whole lot at a time, so we'll do this in batches. Because I want the water to be sure to cover everything. So if I fill it up too full, the water won't cover. Okay, I believe I'll stop there. Not sure how much that'll yield. There comes Dad. Alright, so let's take this over here to our pot over here. I'm just going to take the lid off. The water's boiling. Okay. Let's see. Let me turn a little light on here. Well, the light didn't come on. Oh, the joys of living in a farmhouse. Anyway. Alright, I'm just making sure all of it's covered. And we're going to put the lid on. And we're going to set the timer for 3 minutes. Okay, so while I'm doing that, or while it's happening, I'm going to plug up this sink. And we're going to put cold water in it. I'm going to get a little bit of ice. There comes the light. Okay, I filled my cup of ice. Just going to put that in the water. Be sure it's good and cold. And I may, so I can keep going, so I can, and I don't stall. I was just going to use that as like a colander. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a colander out. And after it cools, transfer it over to the colander, okay? Okay, the timer is about to go off. So I'm going to just turn you this way so you can kind of see. I'm not going to move you around, I'm just going to turn you back and forth. It's at 11 seconds. I've set up some paper towels to let them dry on. And we're just going to keep this assembly line going. Now, I will have to check my pot to see if I need to put some more water in it, because the water does go down a little bit. Turn you back around this way. smells so good. Alright. We'll let that cool a little bit and we'll get another set going. I'm not going to fill it quite as full this time. The water covered it, but it was a little iffy. Now, I don't know what size to freeze. I got quart bags. Okay. Let me take a few of those out. All right. So these have gotten cool. So I'm just going to lift the colander up. Shake it loose, and I'm going to lay these out. See, they're pliable now, so they're a little partially cooked, but they're not all the way cooked. So we've just killed that enzyme that makes them break down. And we're going to lay them out. They don't have to be in a single layer, but you want to get as much of the moisture off as you can. Now what you could do at this point is that even at this point you could take your rings and lay them on a cookie sheet and stick it in the freezer and let them freeze individually. First, you can do that, and that helps keep them separated. But I'm going to use these, like I said, for casseroles and stuff like that, so I'm not sure I really need to do that. And I may try. Y'all, it's been so long since I've had a garden that I haven't had to put up stuff, and so I'm kind of remembering things as we go. Alright, I think my water is ready for me to stick that one in. So let me come over there. Just got a few more to get out. I'll probably need to put some more ice in my sink. Alright, and I'm just going to take a couple paper towels and dab the top. I just want to get as much moisture off as I can, because that'll help stop any freezer burn. Alright. Okay, let's see if I'm ready to, not quite ready. So let's go ahead and so I think I'm just going to fill the freezer bag full and not worry about a measurement. Just going to fill it not all the way full. You can, if you like stewed squash or stewed zucchini with onions as a side dish, you can just pop this bag out. Alright, I'm going to stop, well, do a couple more pieces. Alright, so here's my bag of zucchini. Isn't that beautiful? Y'all, Bryant's going to have to go buy a stand-up freezer because I don't have room for this. But I had to do something. And I'm getting out all the air that I can possibly get out. Alright, so there we go. There is a beautiful bag of zucchini ready for the freezer. I just need to get a Sharpie. I should have done that first, but I don't have a Sharpie. I'm going to have to go to the store and buy a Sharpie. and just, you can tell what it is, but I would probably put the date, you know. So I'm going to keep bagging up. I'm going to put my next batch in, and I'll bring you back and show you how many bags I got out of this. This is a quart size bag. I really don't know how much I filled in it, how much I put in it, but it's a pretty good amount. I would say 2 cups at least. So I'll bring you back and show you how many bags we get. Okay, so I've moved on to slicing up the squash now, and I wanted to show you this one. It's kind of unique. And what's really unique about this one is that this plant has several of these on it. They're like grown fused together, and I'm assuming that the blossom was like a double blossom that was fused together. Tomatoes will do that. They're called ephaceated blossoms. I didn't check the blossoms of my squash plants to see, but this one plant in particular has several of these on there. So I'm just assuming that the blossom was conjoined and ephaceated and made 2 squash together. So we're going to have fun slicing this one up, and my zucchini's about ready to come out. Finished up with the zucchini. Now I can combine zucchini and squash. That is no problem at all. But I am going to freeze them separate just in case there's something I want just yellow squash in, or something I just want green zucchini in. I'm going to slice them apart. It's just a very little membrane holding them together. So I'm going to slice this up, and I'll bring you back and show you everything I get done. Okay guys, well let me show you what we got out of that first picking, well first 2 pickings of zucchini and squash. And I've already fried some squash. I had fried squash the other night. The boys both have done like 2 or 3 stir fries each. So that has taken care of some of the zucchini, and it's just starting to come in, y'all. Let me show you. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 quart bags of zucchini. So 6 quarts of zucchini and 2 of the yellow squash. Now let me go ahead and tell you, I would have normally left out some for frying, for because we just love fried squash, and I would have left some out for them to continue to do stir fry. But today is a big day. I've got to cook for about 25 people for tomorrow, and I've got to prep everything today. And church is tomorrow, and we have a graduation party. So I just need to get this done and get it out of the way. So I'm going to try to find a place in the freezer, and until he gets me a new one. Now let me tell you, there was a little bit of a cooking up difference, or blanching difference, between the squash and the zucchini. Now I left it the same. I did 3 minutes each for both of them. But it was very noticeable that the squash is a lot softer than the zucchini. And I think that's because the squash, internally inside the squash, has more seed and pulp, more watery type stuff than the zucchini does. So if that bothers you, if you want a firmer squash, then just cut your blanch time down to maybe 2 minutes. It didn't matter to me, because if I'm blanching it and freezing it, it is for casseroles or stewed squash anyway, and so I want it soft. So it didn't matter to me, so I kept them both at 3 minutes. Y'all, I'm excited. This is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. I've picked 4 tomatoes, and I've only got 3 sitting on my table here. I don't know where the 4th one went, but y'all, this is getting exciting. Exciting. So I'm not a prepper. I'm not a doomsdayer, but I so enjoy preserving the food that I've grown, and I don't know, it's just like a little not a boastful pride, but a pride in, like, when I fix supper, I'm thinking, man, I not only put the seed in the ground, I grew it, I took care of it, I picked it, and I preserved it, and now I'm cooking it. So there's just such a good feeling with that. So y'all, I'm going to try to get this. Let me show you again. I'm so excited. Woo! And that's just the beginning. We'll be pickling. Y'all, and my cucumbers are fixing to come in. I've got to go to the store and get all the pickling stuff I need to put up pickles. I've never had a whole lot of luck with pickles. Because they get mushy. So, but anyway, y'all stay tuned. I'm going to be cooking some more. I'm going to bring y'all along with me. I'm going to cook for a crowd tomorrow. About 25 people. Not a big crowd, but anyway, so I'll try to video some of that. And y'all have a great day. Thank you for watching The Farming Pastor's Wife. And if you enjoyed this video and you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. And if you have subscribed, please share this with your friends that may like our videos. Because we're trying to grow our channel. And, you know, like I said, I have no ambition, but I still would like to see it grow. It means people are enjoying it if it grows. So, y'all have a great day. And remember, if the grease is hot enough, you can fry anything. Thanks for watching.